Superior?
Hey! What's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Robot Paradise, aka Fanstoys, Acoustic Wave. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. Right up front here, we have some lovely artwork of Acoustic Wave and his little partner, Fibrir. You can tell what side of the argument they stand on. On this side of the box we have Acoustic Wave. On the other side of the box we have Acoustic Wave. Down here, Acoustic Wave. Up top, Acoustic Wave. Warning, don't eat anything in this box. It could be very bad for you. On the back of the box, you have your obligatory product shots with things and stuff and things. And you have a pretty lengthy bio if you want to read it. You can read that on your own time. There's one paragraph. There's another paragraph. And there's another paragraph. And that's basically it for the packaging. Also included are not one, but two collector's cards. You get one for Acoustic Wave. And on the back, you have that same bio again. Tech specs if that interests you. Hooray for cards. And you also get one for Fibrir. And there he is. In his robot mode, tape mode. And you also get a little bio for him. If you want to read it again, you can tell what side of the argument they stand on. There you go. Tech specs, hooray for cards. And moving right along, here we have Acoustic Wave, and this is Fanstoys' take on a masterpiece, Soundwave. And here he is in his robot mode, and he looks absolutely gorgeous, in my opinion. Now, a little backstory on this figure. This was originally supposed to be Fanstoys', I think, second release. This was supposed to come out, I believe, after their Shockwave. And at the same time that they announced this figure, Takara announced the official Soundwave figure, the official Soundwave masterpiece. And I guess Fanstoys just said, never mind, and just tossed it over their shoulder, and they went on to create a bunch of other figures. But obviously now with Takara doing all of these version 2s and version 3s, I guess Fanstoys figured, hey, there's a market for redos now, so they finally decided to put out this figure, and I'm glad they did because it's an awesome figure as far as I'm concerned. But let's get in closer so we can take a look, not at his hollow chest, but at his noggin. There's the noggin. You can see very nicely done head sculpt, nice and sound wavy. Get nice metallic red there for the visor. See the shoulder weapon right there with some nice metallic red paint apps as well. You get the tape deck chests with some nice gold chrome. Of course, a little push button right there on his shoulder. Get some little chromey bits here and there. The chromed out buttons. The chromed out crotch buttons. The Soundwave needs them crotch buttons. Get those little red stripes. Again, very simplistic in its design, not too much detail. Trying to keep with that current MP aesthetic. His big old feet. His feet are die-cast. And move up the back. You can see he does have little faux dials and switches here. And some more little die-cast parts back there. The typical Soundwave backpack. But all in all, very clean transformation. Looks quite good. Now, articulation-wise, the head can rotate, can do a full 360. He can look up, can do a total squirrel. You can do that. You can look down a bit. Arms can do a full 360 on a nice ratchet. Outward movement on a ratchet as well. Moving on down the arm, we do have bicep rotation. You have over 90 degrees of bend there at the elbow. Nice deep elbow bend there. You do have wrist rotation. The hands are posable. And also the wrist is on a ball joint. You can move that hand inward if you need to. But again, the hands are posable. The thumb on this side is, as you can see, a bit loose. I have to tighten that up. But the thumb is on a ball joint at the base and a hinge right there. And each finger is on a hinge at the base, hinge there, and hinge there. So you have nice, fully posable fingers there. He does have waist rotation, although his backpack kind of gets in the way. If you kind of disengage the backpack, you can get some extra rotation there. And you do have a bit of an ab crunch. You can move the skirt panels out of the way here to accommodate the leg movement. Legs can move forward that far, back that far, outward. You can do the full splits. A little squeaky, but you can do the squeaky splits. You got thigh rotation. Yeah, nice deep knee bend there. It's on a softer ratchet, but holds position quite well. And the fates, they can move up a little bit, they can move down a little bit, and you have your ankle tiltage. And you also have a toe joint that can move down if you need it to. Now, as far as accessories go, again, he does have his shoulder weapon right here, which is on a hinge that allows it to pivot up and down. And that can rotate. You can angle that however you want. So you have that, and you also get his hand blaster here with a nice metallic red, the barrel done in a nice silver chrome. And of course you can hold that. There's the typical tab in the slot of the palm method of weapon holding. It does tab in there quite securely. Nice snug fit. And you can pew pew bang bang, pew pew bang bang. And you can do all of that good stuff right there. And of course he comes with one of his little henchmen. Here we have Fibreer. And again, you can see which side of the fence they stand on in that debate. I'm going to call him Frenzy because that's the side I'm on, but you can call him whatever you wish. Doesn't matter to me, but here is little Frenzy in his tape mode. As you can see, he comes in a little case. Isn't that precious? Oh, but you can open that up. You can put that off to the side. And here's a cassette. You got some nice paint apps going on in there. On this side, you can see all the robots deco. But a nice little cassette. He does have some die cast in him as well. Just for comparison with some other cassettes. Here he is with the Masterpiece, Frenzy. And he is a little bit, just a little bit, you see the official Masterpiece one is just a little bit wider than the Fanstoys version. And here he is with G1 Frenzy because he's precious. Oh, so precious. And again, it's almost, actually they're pretty identical width-wise. So I have that, and just because here's the Siege version, the War for Cybertron version, so you can see how that works out in the sky. As you can see, it's a lot smaller. But of course, we can place the cassettes in Soundwave's chest. We can push the button, boop, and that pops open, and the cassette can just slide right in and close right up. And there is Fibreer living inside of Soundwave's chest. And I'm sure it's very, very cozy in there. Very, very cozy. Now, I'm sure people are wondering, can the other cassettes fit in there? Again, the official Masterpiece one is a little too wide, so that doesn't fit in there. Too big. The G1 cassettes, that's it's a little too snug. You can kind of squeeze it in there, but a little too snug for my liking, and I don't want to ruin the stickers. The War for Cybertron trilogy version, these are small, so yeah, that'll fit in there no problem. But of course, that's gonna rattle around in there because it's too small. So that's how that works out. But Fibreer fits in there perfectly, just perfectly. Now you can fit up to 2 tapes in here, and there's a cool little function here. So you can open that up, and obviously that will pop out. But if you have one in the back, and we'll do this here with Fibreer. You have that in the back, so to eject that tape out, there's this lever right here, and when you pull that up, boop, it pops that tape out. So you can have access to it, and it's just this little panel here. If you can see it, it just kind of pushes it out as you raise that lever up. So, a very clever little mechanism there. So we're going to transform Frenzy first and see all of what he can do. So let's get down to transformation, shall we? Okay, it's already started for me. So, to transform him, you're just going to bring his legs down. Bring the legs down, and his weapons do store in here. You just pull these out, put it off to the side, pull that out, put that off to the side, and then you want to unfold his legs. The hinge sits in a little notch in here, so you have to just kind of work that out like so. There you can see a little notch that this hinge just sits in. So extend the leg, and you just flip out your little heel, and then you just kind of shift the foot down and out. Then rotate the leg, and there you have that all done. Second verse just like the first. And just work that hinge out. Rotate. Flip out his little heel. Flip out the little heel. Flip it out. And then bring that foot out and down. And he's starting to take shape. Then you just want to extend the lower body. That will just swoop into place right there. There we go. Now he has a waist. Isn't it nice to have a waist? And as far as the arms go, you just bring them down and unfold. And you flip out his little hands. Flip out little hands. There we go. And same thing the other side. Just bring that down. Bring that down. Flip out his little hands. And then you flip up the head. Rotate. And there you have Fibreer, aka Frenzy, as far as I'm concerned, in his robot mode. And he looks good. He looks good. The only thing that bugs me a bit is just the way his shoulders sit. They just sit in kind of a weird place. But other than that, I think he looks pretty good. Get close there on that head sculpt. Nicely done head sculpt. You got the metallic red for the visor. You got the gold there on the chest, on the crotchio region. Got that red and yellow and blue there. Quite nice. Got a little die-cast feet. And these sections here of his legs, I believe, are die-cast also. I think so. I believe so. Then we go to the back. You can just see all the cassette detailing. You know, some hollowness because this was with a gun store and everything, but all in all, not too shabby. Now, articulation-wise, the head can rotate. You can look up if you need him to. Do squirrel, can totally do that. Arms can rotate. You do have to extend them outwards. You're on this little extending post here. So you do that to do your rotation. And you have in and out. Your arms can do that if you need them to. There's no bicep rotation, but you do have an elbow joint. You get, you know, over 90 degrees of bend. Nothing at the wrist. You just get that inward movement due to transformation. Nothing at the waist, but the legs can move forward that far. You can do those high kicks, back that far, outward. You can do the full splits. You get thigh rotation. Knees can bend as much as you want. And the feet, they can move up, down. You get rotation, and you get some ankle tiltage, just a little bit. And of course you can give him his little weapons here. You just fold down little wing and flip out to the barrel. You can't hold these in his hand as handheld weapons. You just use that back tab right there. You can hold that for pew pew bang bang, pew pew and bang bang. Or if you want, you can just plug these onto his back where they usually are. Like so and like so. And there you have the full frenzy look. Although these can be a little easy to pop off though, and they can get a little annoying, but still makes for a nice look once you have them on. And you do also get some optional heads for frenzy here. You get a just happy smiling face, ha ha, ha ha. And you also get an I'm constipated grr face, so you can do all kinds of grr. And the head is very easy to swap out. It's just on a mushroom peg here, so you just slide it back, and you know, we'll put the happy face on. There we go. Put the happy head on, and there you go. Now he's happy. He is a happy frenzy. He's so happy to be happy. But things you can do if you want to do it. And the last thing you get here for Little Frenzy is you do get his pile drivers. You can see they're done in a nice glossy red, just like the glossy red that's on Frenzy himself. And you got some nice details in there as well. And you push down on this section right here, and that will extend the pile driver, and these are spring loaded. So I can pum, 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 all kinds of pum, pum, pum. And then you just collapse it back in, and then just push this down, and that will lock it back into place. But you can give him his pile drivers if you want. And to do that, we need to flip his hands back in, and then flip his arms back up as if you're going back into cassette mode. And then you want to extend the shoulders out. So make sure you get those extended out as far as they will go. Let's pull those out like that. There we go. And the pile drivers will just slide over his arms like that. And there you go. Now he's got his pile drivers, and he is so freaking happy about it. So, there you go. And now for a Frenzy comparison. Here he is with the official Masterpiece Frenzy. Here he is with the War for Cybertron trilogy Frenzy. He's just a little stubby dude. And here he is with G1 Frenzy because it's precious. Oh, so precious. And now for a Soundwave comparison. Here he is with Masterpiece Starscream. With Masterpiece Megs. And with the official Masterpiece Soundwave, so you can see how that works out. Now, to be fair, I love Masterpiece Soundwave. I still think this is one of the best masterpieces that have ever been released. I think this figure still holds up, in my opinion anyway. But if you want that more cartoony aesthetic that Masterpiece is going for now, man, the Fanstoys version just knocks it out of the park in my opinion. But yeah, there you have those two together. I'm saving the G1 Precious comparison. You'll see why, but for now, there you go. And the last thing we get for Soundwave accessory-wise is a bunch of optional parts that you can store in this little cube here. A little cube of storage. Isn't that lovely? You can store almost everything in here, except for these panels. We need these as well. Those don't fit in there, but you can store almost everything. You can drop the extra Frenzy heads in there as well. So you can store most of everything in this, but we can pop the top off, and we can dump out all of these extra goodies. And these extra goodies are to give him his G1 toy look. So we have the G1 toy head, leg panels, shoulder pieces, knee pieces, some more knee pieces, and a replaceable screen there, windshield for the tape deck. And yeah, so let's show off how all of this works. So first we'll start with the legs. So what you're going to do is we need to disengage this section here. Just bring that up. You want to tilt the foot to the side like so. You just want to bring this little knee piece down. So what you're going to do is you're going to first pop out this panel right here. Put that off to the side. You're going to bring in the silver panels here. They are labeled left and right, so make sure you have them on the right side here. So that just tabs in and make sure that slot is on the bottom as well. Once you do that, you can just take the foot, bring it back where it was. You can put this back where it was. And then we're going to slide out this bit here. It just untabs. And then you replace it with this. And you want to make sure that this little sloped side is facing down. So just pop that in, and then you can leave that there for now. You want to bend his knee because you want to pop out this little piece right here, this little white piece. Just get that out. Sometimes it can get a little stuck. Come on. Boop. Come on. There we go. Pop that out and replace it with this red piece like so. like that. Make sure that little triangle is at the top. And then we can just close all of this back up like that. And then you take in this panel, and that will just tab in right here and right up in here. So just pop all that on, like so. And there we have a side all done. Second verse is just like the first. And next we're going to move on to his shoulders. We can raise this panel up. You can see there's a little notch here that you can kind of get under. You will need a tool of some kind to just kind of get under there and work things out. And there's a little notch right in here as well, which again, you may need something to kind of get in there. And you just pop that shoulder out, and you take the new shoulder piece, and that will just slide right on like so. And now he has his G1E shoulders. So now for the chest, you want to open this up, and what you're going to do is you're going to push on like the upper corner here. That's the best way to do it. It's just kind of just some even pressure. Just pop that up like so, and then you can slide this up because this does tab in. You can see little tabs right there. You go into those two little slots. Just slide that out, and then you put on the new chest piece. You want it oriented like so, and this will just slide down into those slots. And this kind of takes a little bit of doing, but you can get that in there. Come on. There we go. And then just pop it in. Just give it a nice even press. Close that up. And there you have that new detailing going on, like so. And the last thing you want to do is switch the head out, and you will need a tool of some kind to kind of get in there and kind of wedge his face out. You're basically going right here at the seam right there, and just kind of work his face off. Give me your face. And you can put the new face on, and there you go. There you have Soundwave in full G1 toy mode. And that's pretty cool. A nice alternate display option, and as always, options are good. But yeah, I dig it. I do quite dig it. We'll just take a look at this real quick here. You can see the nice head sculpt, new shoulders, chest piece. Yeah, the new bits there on the legs. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I dig that. I dig that. So now it's time for the best comparison ever with G1 Soundwave, because he's precious. Oh, so precious. So that is pretty much it for Soundwave's robot mode. So let's get down to transformation, shall we? Now, I left this leg panel on because this does change up the transformation a bit, so I want to show you how that works out when we go into the alt mode. But let's get down to it. So first thing we need to do is we need to transform the weapons. So you just flip up the handle, push the barrel in, and then collapse all of this in to make a battery. Put that off to the side for now. And then we take a shoulder weapon. Just unpeg that. This section will just push in. That will push in. And there you have the other battery. And we can just push that little post down. And now we can commence. So we'll start with the arms. You just want to ball his hands up into a fist, like so. And you want to rotate it so it's palm facing down. Then you open up the forearm and flip the hand up, close that up, and you have that done. Second verse is like the first. So just bring that palm down, open up the forearm panel, close that up, and there you go. So there you have that. So now we're going to come back here to the backpack. You can just grab this and just raise it up like that, and that will help to open that up right there. Once you have that open, you can take your batteries and they will store right in here like that. You want the side with the stripe facing the inside like that. And we can take Soundwave's head and just bring that down like so. We can close that up. Don't close it up all the way because there's still some more stuff we have to do here. Bring that out so you can swing this section out. There you go. And again, just leave that like that for now, because now we can take the waist and rotate it 180. And once we've done that, now we can just bring all this down and close all that up like so. So once we've done that, you want to untab the shoulders. Now these are like kind of scary tight, still a little bit scary tight. What I ended up doing was I ended up just shaving down this little lip here on that tab, and also shaved down a little bit of plastic off of this side right here. That loosened it up a little bit. Still a little too tight. I might have to do a little bit more of adjusting there, but yeah. Little modification you might have to do out of the box, but just bring that over and all of this will tab into the side like so. Do the same with the other side. Just kind of wiggle that loose, get that out, and then bring all that in. And all that will tab in to the backpack like that. So there we go. So that's pretty much the chestial region done. So now we move on to the waistial region. So you want to take this panel here, just bring this out. You want to rotate this 180. Just bring that down for now. These side skirt pieces or just collapse up on those double hinges. So just fold those up like that. You then want to open his legs up here. You want to undo this latch that will allow the crotch plate to come up. You want to make sure that all of these panels are up. And once you've done that, you want to rotate his legs around, just the legs. And again, just make sure you have the clearance and bring all that around like so. Once you do that, you want to take these little side panels here. These will flip up, and these are what lock the sliding mechanism in. So once you undo that, bring that up, you can then take this whole waist and all of this will slide up into the body like so. So once you have done that, you come down here to these little panels, you flip that down, flip that out, flip that down, and flip that out, and then you can just collapse all this down like so, and make sure all of that locks into place there in the crotchial region. And there you go. You can see it's kind of starting to look like something. So now, come back here to the legs. These little latches here that you want to undo. We're going to undo those now, and then we can just have them do the splits like so. And now we can work on the legs. So as far as the leg transformation goes, you want to undo this section, bring it up, all of this will unfold, and then you just swing this back, and that will tab in right back there. And you just leave that there for now. The foot, you want to untab, and you want to bring it out on this lower hinge here. So bring it out like that, rotate it out, and then bring it up. That will sit there like so. The knee piece here, you bring this down as far as it'll go, and that will allow you to then take this panel here, flip that out, and you can flip out this little white panel, then bring that back up, and this section will collapse in on that hinge, and you fold that back in, and it should look like that. So once you've done that, you want to rotate the leg up. You want to rotate it at this section right here. That's why this is undone, so that can rotate freely. So rotate that up so it is sitting like that. This little shoulder panel here, you want to bring up. And you're going to bring the leg up now. One thing you want to make sure this little panel goes underneath this panel here. So make sure that ends up where it's supposed to. And you have tabs and slots right here that will line up. And all of that should just tab together like so. Again, make sure everything tabs in as it should. And then you have this post, which will plug into that port right there. And lock that into place. So there you go. So once you have done that, you come to the side panel here, flip this down. This section here will come out. You want to pull this out, just give it a little pull. That will give you the clearance to bring that out, and then you can just slide that back in, and that will pretty much just seat itself. You have this little panel right in here that you're going to flip out, and then all this will come up. That'll tab in right there. That'll sit right there. And there you have that side all done. Second verse, almost just like the first, just with a little bit extra. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to undo all this, bring that up, bring that over. This section here you can fold down like that, and that can tab in right there. So now we can bring the foot out and rotate it and bring it up. That will sit right there. The knee, again, bring that down as far as it'll go, so you can bring this panel out and flip this panel out. Close it back up, flip that in, bring that up, and there you go. Then you just rotate the leg. Again, make sure you're rotating at this hinge right there, like so. Bring that shoulder panel up, and then again, you're collapsing all this up. Again, make sure that panel sits underneath that, right there. There's a little groove for it to sit in, right there like that. Tab everything in, make sure everything is tabbed in, like so. That will plug in right there, as it did. And flip that down, bring this panel out. Come on. There we go. Again, just give it a little tug outward. Bring that around, collapse it back in, and that should seat itself like so. So what you're doing here, well, first we flip out this little panel. So what you're doing here is you're going to bring all this up, just like you did before, but this little section here rotates 180, like that. So all this now will come up, so where it's supposed to, and this has a little tab that will go into that slot right there. So that's how those G1 pieces sit in robot mode. And that's the only thing that changes transformation-wise when you have those G1 toy pieces in. So once you've done that, just make sure that all these little panel here has little notch that it sits into right there. Oh, you also want to make sure that you close this crotch panel back up. Close all that back up. Close that back up. And then you just have this panel here, which will swing in. And I think we're done. Are we done? Yes, we're done. Woo! We're done! And there you have Soundwave in his alt mode. You can get a pretty good spin out of him, too. But there he is in his tape player mode. And it's a nice blue and white box as only Soundwave can transform into. But it looks good. But you know what? Let's take this piece off here. Just so it looks a little cleaner, but there it is. There it is. Looks quite nice. Now the buttons don't work. They don't push in or anything, but you do have a working little dial right here. This little switch here can move up and down if you wanted to. But yeah, all in all, looks quite nice. It compacts very well. Looks good. I have no complaints here. And of course you can open that up and we can take Frenzy and sit them in there, and there you go. Now we can listen to our tunes. And now for comparison, here he is with G1 Soundwave, because he's precious. Oh, so precious. And of course here he is with the official masterpiece Soundwave, so you can see how that works out. And I'll give you the turnaround, so you can see what's what, who's who, and where's why. So there you have that. So there you have Acoustic Wave, and yeah, really, really well done figure by Fanstoys here, in my opinion anyway. I absolutely love it. I think they knocked this one out of the park. The robot mode looks fantastic. The alt mode looks really good. Really cool that you have the option to give him that G1 toy look. Okay, options are good. And Fib Rear, for the most part, is a really nicely done cassette bot. So all in all, I am quite pleased with this figure. I think they did a really good job on it, in my personal opinion anyway, so there you go! Now you can get this figure from BigBadToyStore.com, as always linked in the description down below, so you can check that out. You can also check out my third-party Transformers playlist for any reviews you may have missed, also linked in the description down below, so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love Peace Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the Robot Paradise, aka Fanstoys Acoustic Wave, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, palm in your face. You no good, lousy piece of scrap! What did I tell you about trying to kill me? What did I tell you? Lord Megatron. Yes, Soundwave, how can I help you? I would advise against this course of action. Why? You're doing it all wrong. You can strangle someone far more efficiently with 2 hands. Oh, that's true. See, now this is why I keep you around, Soundwave. You make me better. Isn't that right, Starscream? He said yes.